Plaintiff Tracy Cole says the defendant is her second cousin, and they used to be close. However, they got into an altercation after a family gathering, and the defendant almost killed her when she attacked her with a fiberglass rod. Tracy's suing for her medical bills and pain and suffering. Defendant Tony Anderson says she deeply regrets what happened between her and Tracy, but she claims Tracy is not telling the whole truth. Tony claims on the night of the incident, Tracy was beating Tony's niece with a belt, and that's why Tony got involved. Tony's countersuing for defamation and emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
Tony is my second cousin. We used to do a lot of things together, go to church, sing in the choir, party together, and do a lot of things with her kids.
What type of party?
Like go to clubs and stuff like that.
Before or after church?
Before church.
Okay.
It'll be Friday night. We go to a club.
After hour joint?
After hours.
All right. Where they gamble, smoke, weed, and drink?
I don't know what they did, but I didn't do that. No.
But you were there?
Yeah, I was there.
The preacher wasn't there?
No, the preacher wasn't there.
I was just trying to understand. All right, I got you. All right, go ahead.
And
well, you were doing the right thing. Don't let me discourage you. Because if you're doing all that, you needed some church.
Went to church Sunday morning.
Some churches, I tell people all the time, church is for sinners. If you're not sinning, then you can just sit at home and wait on the Lord. Otherwise, you need to come to church, pray for forgiveness, listen to a message to change your ways, and strengthen you to maintain your righteousness.
Until Friday.
That's right. All right, so you all went to church, you party, you hung out. What else?
So this day, Tony had hit me in a fiberglass rod, which I have the scar to prove it. And I also have the pictures to show it the 2 days after that.
Let me see it.
That's what she hit me with on the 21st of July, a fiberglass rod. Those was the stitches. And that's where she split me in my head. I could have lost my life. They told me 2 inches. Then she missed my temple. I could have died that day. And it was so hard. And me and her were so close. And she did this to me. That's why I'm here today, because of my medical bills and pain and suffering.
I'm glad you came here. A lot of people would have approached it a different way, so I'm glad you came to court to sue her. Did you prosecute?
Yes, I did. I have that paper where they prosecute her.
You did good. That's the 2 things people should do. They should prosecute and then sue them civilly, because I know folks, young guys in particular, who get in fist fights and say, we're going to get a couple of my buddies and go and fist fight back. Well, number one, not too many people are fist fighting these days. And number 2, even a fist fight can lead to an unexpected consequence. Someone falls, hits their head on the curb or on a rock or anything and dies. Manslaughter. You're going to prison for that fist fight. So I'm glad you didn't try and retaliate, did you?
I couldn't. I was in so much pain.
Well, I'm saying come back later, send your husband and his boys.
Talked to her.
I'm sure he was tempted to, but thank God he thought better and didn't do such a thing. Why did that happen? What was the fight?
We was at a family gathering with all the family, and it was in Michigan, Ben Harbor, Michigan, and my mom had got rooms in her name, and it was minors in the room, which is her nephew that's sitting here and her son that's not here. And my mom told me to tell them she's not being responsible for any action in the hotel room because it was in her name. Mm-hmm. So her son, which is not here, went up there and told her that I jumped in his face, which I didn't. He was on the floor and I'm standing up. So I did not jump in his face. So she came downstairs she pushed the door so hard where you can hear it down the hallway. And she was like, Tracy, what you say to my son? And I told her what my mama told me to tell her. She got offensive and everything. She got to say with my mom. She wanted to fight me then. My mom told her no. Tony got up and her family member, they left the next day, which was the 19th. They left. She came back and went home and told everybody what she was going to do to me and everything. I have a written statement.
Over something that small. Ma'am, let me hear from you.
Your Honor, first I would like to apologize to my cousin because I do feel bad about what I did. I attempted to apologize to her. I feel, I love her and it shouldn't have went that far. And if I could take it back, I would, but it didn't happen that way. We was in Michigan, like she said, at reunion, and Tracy is a young woman. She had no kids, so she's the type that, boss everybody kids around, and everybody know how she is. So that day, my son came to me several times telling me what she was saying, and I told him, I said, y'all know how she is, just leave it alone. So it got real ugly that night. My son was in her brother's room. She came and put my son out the room. I mean, by me being a mother, I just went downstairs and asked, I was like, Tracy, what went on? And she was like, y'all think everybody's scared of y'all. That's why your brother's dead today. And I had 3 brothers to get killed. She said some hurtful things to me. My nephew is right here and he can vouch for me. And then, I have 2 mentally.
You say that
Yes.
now?
Yes,
No,
she did. My nephew is right here, Your Honor.
Stand up. State your name.
My name is Jarrell Harris. That's my auntie. When my auntie came up in the room, I was outside the door. They told me don't come in. So I hear my auntie. She like, Tracy, what's going on? So Tracy, I hear her hollering. She like, y'all think y'all bad? You think you tough? That's why your 3 brothers dead to this day. I'm gonna put you where they at. And I hear her hollering.
Yep. And Your Honor, my brothers, they all were killed in 2000, and that hurt me. I was so upset. I left the next morning. That's why I left, because she said the hurtful thing. I have 4 kids, and 2 of them have special needs. She even was saying, well, that's why your kid's retarded. I mean, I know I hurt her, and I feel bad for what I did.
Did you say that?
Yes, she did. Here go my niece.
Your Honor.
My niece is right here. She was calling her out, her name and everything. She said a lot of stuff.
State your name.
Kenya Anderson.
What do you want to tell me?
Tracy, that's my cousin or whatever. We got an altercation. She started whacking me with belts and everything after the whole fact.
That's
How old are you?
17.
She was 15 at the time. That's how the incident happened with her. The couple of days after that.
You whooped this young lady?
Your Honor,
with a belt?
that did not happen. That night when she
I got
hit
7
me in
witness
my
stands.
head.
Did you at age
No, I did not,
15?
Your Honor.
You
I got
never
7
whooped this
witnesses.
No,
young
I
lady?
did not.
Your
I
Honor,
have
I got
32 nieces and nephews,
So
and I
why
did
do you
not
think
whoop
they're
them.
making this up?
They're making it up because they lied to the police and said that I started all this.
Your Honor.
I have a written statement from a family member what she did.
How many
And they
statements
were
you
sitting
have,
at
and who are
7
they from?
This is from the family members that were there and 2 friends.
What are they saying?
All I'm saying that she went to her sister had a candy store. She went over to the candy store. Tracy acted like she was walking to the truck when she was going up. And once she walked past her, she just took the belt and started beating her with the buckle. So I was over my sister's house, and me and my sister and my other cousin
This is a different date altogether.
This a different date. This happened after the family reunion. So I'm get to running, as I was running, I found the stick. I didn't mean to hurt her. I love her. But, I went to her rescue because she was whipping her. So I was like, Tracy, why is you hitting her with the stick? With the belt. So she swung the belt at my face. When I swung back, I had the stick. My reflex, I just hit her.
None of this happened?
Yeah.
None of that happened.
Here goes the statements right here.
Right. You describe to me what exactly happened.
When it started in the 18th, we bypassed that. On the 21st was a Monday. I was sitting at my sister's house. I didn't come out there until 5 o'clock that evening. My mom and my dad was sitting outside on the porch. She drove her van around the corner, got out of the car, and jumped out and said, Tracy, what's up? You ready to fight? She threw her hands up. My mother said, don't feed into that. So I didn't feed into it. I sat on the porch with my mom. As it got darker and darker, her and her family member gave her the rod. They standing in the middle of the street playing like they Karate Kid.
Was this young lady there?
All of them was there. She had 30-some family members there. So
You
my
think
mom,
all 30 of them were there to jump on you?
Yeah, I know my family member. Yes, they will.
30.
Yes, they will fight. If it's got something to do with her, yes, it will. You know.
So what did happen? Tell me about.
So that night, when I was sitting on the porch, I asked my nephew for some gym shoes. I had on some flip flops. I went and put my gym shoes on. My mom said no, and she went around the corner and told my sister to give her the cell phone so she can call the police before it even happened. That's when Kenya came and jumped me from behind and tried to pull me down. My nephew hopped the fence and grabbed her and said, "Get off my auntie." That's when Tony pushed my father out the way. She told him, "I hit old people too." She put in. My father said, "No, you're not finna hit my daughter like that." And that's when she came around and whacked me. And next thing I knew, the police was coming in, and she ran through her sister's house, and they told her to turn herself in or she gonna make the matter worse.
What happened when the police came?
When they came, she had ran.
Did
and
you
they was
press
waiting for.
charges?
Yes, I did. I have the paper right here.
All right. And what happened as a result? Ma'am, were you convicted?
Yes, I pled guilty for domestic battery.
So why don't you think you should pay?
Your Honor, I think I should pay for her medical bills, but pain and suffering, you know, she was provoked. She provoked the fight because she attacked my niece. And Your Honor, when I was locked up in jail, I've been at my job for 10 years. She called my job several times, telling them that I was in jail for attempt murder.
Did you do that?
No.
Your Honor, she even went up to my job. I lost my job because of this incident.
Did you go to her job?
No.
I have in my statement that she went up to my
Who are
job.
the statements from?
It was a sister and a friend.
Do you have anything from your employer?
No, I don't.
Why?
Because they didn't want to get involved with it.
They got involved by firing you.
I know, but Your Honor, she called my job.
Did you ever hear why she lost her job? Either of you two?
I did.
What'd you hear?
I heard that Tracy, my cousin, went up to her job and went up there while she was locked up and kept going back and forth, calling, saying that she was convicted of attempt murder. And
Who told you that?
that was the streets was coming telling us. People that she was going back talking to.
I know what to mean when the
Your
streets are coming
Honor,
back telling you that. Has she ever accused you of this before, of interfering with her job, of coming to her job?
Yes, she did. She said
And what did you tell her?
I told her I didn't call her job. Anybody can call up there and say it's me. But Your Honor, her boss is my sister's son's godfather, and she called her and asked her, when you go to your job,
Say that again. Your what? Your sister? Give me this relative scenario again. Your who?
My sister's son. The boss is her god.
Your Honor, that's not true. I work at a group home, and it's all the supervisors are different. Whatever she's saying, that was not my boss. So,
but does he work for the same facility?
Yes.
We don't know whether she said it or the nephew said it. We do know that you pled guilty to it, ma'am. And when you plead guilty to something, although sometimes people take a plea bargain to avoid the risk of being convicted, the lawyer says, I worked out a deal for you. You'll get 30 days if you plead guilty, or you'll get probation if you plead guilty. However, if we go to trial and you lose, you'll get 5 years. Well, most people will take that 30 days or that probation. The downside of that is that it follows you. That plea bargain follows you. Or you get sued. And it's irrefutable evidence because you've essentially said, yeah, I did it when you pled. So I'm going to have to grant her judgment. And you all have 100 family members, 30 of them hanging out on the porch. So I don't know, ma'am, I don't know who called your job. Unless you bring me something saying that she did it, I can't hold her liable. So I'm going to grant her judgment and dismiss yours. $5,000 for the plaintiff. Have a good day. Hope you guys learned your lesson.
well, I'm gonna just stay away from her because, you know, she said some hurtful things to me, and I know I hurt her, you know, just leave her alone.
I'm just gonna stay my distance. She deserved what she got. Maybe next time she'll think about hitting a family member again.